Aren't you taking a big chance? There must be a guard on him in the hospital.
Undoubtedly, and I'll have to get past him.
And hope you can get the prisoner to talk.
He won't talk for the police, but maybe the Green Hornet can convince him it's the right thing to do.
Welcome back to our channel, and I thought I would turn the camera on real quick before I close this all up. A couple guys asked that I show a little bit more on the electronics side. Some guys are new to adding lights and stuff to the models, so they're looking for some help, and that's what we're all here for, to help out one another. This is just a simple basic DC circuit. It's a parallel circuit. All the positives are tied together, all the negatives are tied together. Pretty easy peasy. We have everything tied together in the car body. Then we have two feed wires. This is the positive, and this is the negative wire. And this negative wire goes to all the negatives that are in the car. And then this is the positive that goes to all the positive SMDs, the positive side of the SMDs in the car. So pretty simple. Negatives all tied together, positives all tied together. And then we have a negative coming from all those negatives in the car to the negative side of the battery holder. This is a 2032 coin holder. And we got that negative wire coming down and around, and it'll be all tucked in here. And then the positive side of the battery comes out here and goes to one side of the switch. And then the other side of the switch, the positive goes up to all the positive in the car. So that's our second feed wire, positive and negative. And that's it. I mean, pretty easy peasy. We got shrink tubing on here, so we don't short nothing out when we put the frame into the body. And then we have the switch mounted in the gas tank. So when we slide the switch, all the lights will come on. And then to shut it off, we just pick the back end up and just flip the switch and shut the lights off. And we are back, and we got it finished within the month of February. So I didn't think I'd be able to do it, but my wife, she took a couple painkillers because of her shoulder, was really acting up. Because the doctors, they got to screw with your arm and make everything worse. So by the time she got home, she was pretty much in a lot of pain. So she took a couple pain pills, and it kind of just knocked her out for most of the day. So I just spent it getting this finished up. So we got it all finished up. The last segment, you saw all the wiring and stuff, and now it's all buttoned up. And I think it came out pretty good. The old girl still looks good. This kit, it's not a bad kit. I mean, it looks like the Black Beauty. I think Aurora did a fairly good job in capturing the basic look of the car. They got a couple things wrong, well, more than a couple things, but they got a few things wrong. But if you take your time with this, and as I said earlier, it's the only kit I know in plastic, you can still end up with a decent looking Black Beauty. It just takes a lot of work for this kit. Now mine's the kit that has the bad glass in it, so my windshield is not the best fitting. I did the best I could with it, but it is not sitting in there right, and I don't care what you do, it will not fit in that body correctly. It was just molded wrong. But the good news is that the release coming out soon from round 2 of the Black Beauty will have, because they corrected the windshield a long time ago, round 2 did, and so that'll have a correct glass in it. You won't have the ill-fitting glass that mine does, but I still like it. bad glass and all, I still like the car. So now, as you saw in the last segment, with all the electronics in it, everything's all wired up to the switch, batteries underneath the hood. All I have to do now is just pick the back end up, flick the switch, and now we have all of the tail lights on. We can't see it out in daytime, but the green light's on in the interior, and then the headlights are on as well. So that's it with the lights on. Pretty cool. The tail light lens, we used Tester's Clear Window Maker to make the lens. And that's really about it. We used a theater gel filter for lights to get the green headlights. And I also took some Tamiya Clear Green and painted the buckets green to give them, because the filter I didn't feel was a little too light. I wanted to be a little deeper green, but obviously not too dark, because then we wouldn't be able to tell the headlights were on. So I think it's just perfect. It gives me the glow that this car had. The headlights didn't have, they weren't a strong light. They were more of a glow than a strong light, and that's what I was looking for, and I think that looks pretty spiffy that way. I got the rockets on in the back. We made the little license plate for it, the V194 plate in the back there, so it has a license plate it had on the show. And you saw the figures. Kato and the Green Hornet are in here now. You can kind of see them. You can see Kato in there, and then Green Hornet sitting in the back seat. And got all the gadgets on. The front gadgets and the rear gadgets, everything's there. So that is pretty much the Green Hornet, Black Beauty, 132nd by Aurora, and yeah, just a fantastic kit if you're willing to take time with it. If you just want to build it out of the box, if you're that kind of person, don't get this kit, because you're not going to be happy with it. Because it takes some work. It took me many sandings, many coats of primer to try to get the body straightened out, because it was full of ripples and waves, and I'm not too sure why, but it was not a flat, smooth body. It was pretty bad, actually. It shouldn't have been that way in my book, but we did the best to get the body straightened out and looking somewhat presentable. The top, that's how I do all my vinyl tops. It's stippled craft paint. We used, I think I might have said this already, the Folk Art wrought iron, which is a black with a lot of green, and has a bit of a green cast to it, so it makes it look really cool on the Black Beauty. And I think I'm going over everything. And then we can't have the Green Hornet, the Black Beauty, without having Britt Reed's car. His 68300, so there's his 68300. It's a papercraft kit that I got. A gentleman makes these, and he makes them in 1/25th scale. And I asked him if he couldn't make it in 1/32nd scale to go along with the Black Beauty. And he said, well, I'll give it a try. So he wrote me back and said, this is the closest I can get it to 1/32nd scale. So now we have Britt Reed's car, his 300 convertible in paper, and then we have the Black Beauty, his car with Kato and all that fun stuff. So I had a little bit of an issue putting this together, believe it or not, because some things just didn't want to align right, being he shrank everything down to 1/32nd scale to go to Black Beauty. But I told him that was okay, even if I was going to have issues with it. Because he warned me, he goes, I don't know if this is going to go together right. Being I had to shrink it down. I said, that's okay. And, if it looks somewhat like a 300 when I'm done with it, then I'll be happy. So that's Britt Reed's 300 convertible, which is pretty cool. And well, let's do it this way. And then we have the Green Hornet. It's Black Beauty. The two cars. I don't know how we do this here. Try to find my crappy looking table. There we go. Alright guys, I guess that's it. I want to thank Sean and Brian for the 132nd, or the small scale group build. Next year maybe we'll do another 132nd or 164. I have more kits, but yeah. I don't think I'll have much as fun as I did with this. Though. I really had a lot of fun with this. Trying at times, trying to get everything fixed, but I really had a lot of fun with the Black Beauty, and I'm glad I have it back on my shelf. As a kid, you know, I built a lot of these Black Beauties. They were all crappy. Because it was a crappy kit, I just built it right out of the box, and you know, they weren't the best. And a few kits that I bought it just for the body only, because the rest of the kit I tossed. I just wanted the body out of it for the slot car racing, and that's what a lot of guys did. That's why this kit was so popular. It wasn't because it was a great kit. Guys just were only after the body for slot car racing. So yeah, but it's nice to have a decent looking Black Beauty on the shelf, especially one by Aurora. It'll go with my Flying Sub and my Alfred E. Newman stuff. So, okay guys, that's it. Take care. We'll see you in the next video. We'll be going back to the USS Lexington. Take care.